Hey, happy Monday, everyone. So today I want to share with you some really brilliant wisdom. Something that many creative people seem to have, and it keeps coming across my plate, this question. And I figured, you know what, just put together a video so we could address it and really approach it and make some progress. So people are always telling us to make a schedule, like be scheduled and be structured, have your day planned in advance, because that's the only way you get things done in life. And you have to plan out your goals and your systems. And that feels very crimping. Like if you're a creative type person, you want to go with the moment. You want to go with your impulse. You feel like confident when you can just be yourself. And it's really stressful. You have to make a schedule in advance. I mean, a schedule in advance, like how do I know what I want to have then? Like making today's choices or tomorrow's choices for dinner. Like dinner tomorrow? I can't even think about today. Like why do I have to think about tomorrow? And it could really be, it's something that could really crimp your style and make it really hard to operate and have a lot of success. And it creates a lot of stress because the whole world does it. Everyone's talking about it. And yet it doesn't feel like you. It's not you. It's not who you are. It's not how you want to behave. It's not how you want to live. You like to keep your options open. But here's the problem. When you don't make a schedule, often not enough gets done. And your day, all of a sudden, before you know it, it's over. And then you wonder, how do you deal with this? And hi, Sheila. Thanks for logging in and watching it live. So yeah, it's a question because it really, on one side, you want to succeed and you want to have this schedule, but at the same time, you don't want it because it takes away all the fun, right? So how do you live with both and how to get a double whammy? And so to me, I really struggled with this a lot. And I had a brainwave several years ago, and I started putting this into effect. You know, I did it for exercise, but I started implementing the system for the rest of my life. So I found that whenever I would go out for a run, like I would say before I start my run, I'm running out for 5 miles. So I would run, and you're like excited, your adrenaline, you have this big push. And then after mile number 2, I'm like, 5 miles? Are you crazy? No way. Today's only 3 miles. And I found that halfway through, I kept cutting my goal. And I realized that's a problem. So I made a new rule for myself, which was that I can make any goal I want, any goal. But once I start to run, nothing changes. Nothing, I don't care if it's a hurricane or a tornado. I am running the full amount of the quota for that day that I set for myself. And the only one I can blame is myself. And so I found that when I started making the goals, I started making more realistic goals. Because when I did something that for example, one day I was forced to run, I think it was 9 miles. I don't know what was into my mind. I said, Ellie, I'm running 9 miles. And at mile number 5, I was cooked. I was done, but it's my rule, no games. And I know the guy who makes the rules was me, right? So I have no one to blame. I have no one to be angry at, only myself. But I took notes, Ellie, I don't know what you're thinking when you're making these absurd goals, but make more practical goals so you don't burn yourself out. And so that's what I started doing. I started making practical goals and practical schedules. And so I'll just think of today, like Monday is often a very stressful day because Monday, you got to figure out what to do. Like, how do you make this a great week? How do I make this week grow, right? And how do I expand my horizon? Like, so much to do. And I think it comes down to something really unique that often people overlook. And that is that our choices brain, right? And thank you for that good idea. Thank you, Sheila. Our choices brain, the brain that we use for thinking, and the brain that we use to actually be creative and get things done, they're not the same thing. They're different parts of our mind. And so if I'm trying to be creative in the moment and accomplish wonderful creations and help people and grow, at the same time make choices like what I should do next, they clash. And what happens is I use a lot of energy, a tremendous amount of energy. I get the job done. It always works out in the end, but it feels overwhelming. It gets really overwhelming. And so it leaves a real problem, it leaves a real crisis because I can achieve that, I can make choices on the fly, but by the time the day is over, at 8 o'clock, I'm cooked. I'm in bed early, and the next morning I'm like almost drained getting out of bed because I use so much brain power. And so the key here is the following thing. The key is, I discovered, is to separate the two. Separate the two very easily. Just take the half your cake, right? Take your schedule and put your schedule in a day earlier. So no, I can do whatever I want. I don't schedule it 4 months in advance. But let's say yesterday, for example, or today. So I put in my whole schedule was started to be made for Monday. I had some basic things that have to happen that are in there every day. And then I had some appointments that I had to make and a few calls and a few strategy calls and other things. And it started filling up. By the time it became yesterday evening, today was booked solid. The day was full. And yes, there was zones for Facebook Live and those zones for other things, but it was full, roughly with general subjects throughout the day, appointments, meetings, whatever they were. I started today, and it felt great. There was no pressure because all I had to do was just, someone made the system for me. Someone made my schedule for me. It was like this Ellie from yesterday made the schedule for Ellie today. And it was so cool. It felt like, this is easy. All I have to do is implement. Like no thinking, no second guessing, no choices to be made. It was easy. I just went from thing to thing. At 11 o'clock, I looked at my schedule. Okay, now I got to do this. Okay, jump to that. At 12 o'clock, like, what's on next on the schedule? And I found another appointment. And I went from, it's been a fun day. It's been exciting. It's been really an experience, an opportunity to get so much done without having to make choices constantly. And so I think that's ultimately the idea of how to have your cake and eat it. You can have your flexibility, your opportunities to do everything you want. You have the opportunities to achieve and have full flexibility in your schedule. But you have to make that, you have to decide what that is a little bit in advance. So instead of making it on the spot, make it 24 hours in advance. And so today, as I'm planning this evening, I'm going to make tomorrow's schedule. And I'm going to make the schedule for tomorrow. And I'm going to decide 9 o'clock and 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock and fit everything in. And so I have all my options, but the options are not going to be crimped, right? I'm not going to be stuck because I'm making the options. I'm making the schedule for me. I know I work today. I can think of some things that will work tomorrow and make it really, really simple. And so by doing that, it starts becoming a choice game, right? My mind isn't having to think of choices. At the same time, using creativity to get the job done, just roll. Like I like creating choices. I don't like making choices. Making choices just makes it all stressful. I mean, an example would be like Costco. I love Costco. What I love Costco, I mean, they're expensive and honestly it's cheap, but I don't need those big items consistently, but it's great because I walk around the store and all I have to do is, if I need oil, there's one oil. There are no choices. The big oil, the small oil, the giant oil. There's no end. No. There's one choice. So all I do is grab an oil. I need tomato sauce. It's just tomato sauce. So it makes the whole thing really easy. And so that's ultimately the key to making life really fun is by setting yourself up to make the choice in advance. Not that far in advance, but just enough in advance that when you're in the zone, you could just get in the flow and just roll. Like, this reminds me of the story of the guy's flying and he's on the plane and the stewardess asks him, would you like your dinner? And he says, what are my choices? So she says, yes or no. So, that's what you want. You want to get your choices down to yes or no. Like, are you going to take the next step or not? That's it. And once you do that, you make things really simple. You really can enjoy it. You can get things done. You can have your cake and you can eat it, right? You can keep your flexibility open to the last second, but give yourself just enough time to plan what you're going to do before, because when you do, then you don't have to engage both brains at the same time and you're off to the races. So have an awesome day, really kick ass, and have your cake and eat it.